chapter of empowerment that reflects the leadership's commitment to gender equality and national progress. Beyond representation, female MPs have succeeded in transforming this presence into real legislative achievements. They have played a leading role in strengthening laws that protect women's dignity and families.
Now where we go live, ladies and gentlemen, as a press conference is taking place on the National Election Authority headquarters.
Following up the electoral process throughout the day, the second and final day in the runoff, with colleagues, the heads of the concerned judicial committees in 19 electoral constituencies, over 7 governorates. We have noticed a big turnout, especially in rural areas and villages, in the hometowns of the candidates, and also in cities. The process ran smoothly and regularly. There was no overcrowding and the turnout was moderate. It was also noticeable that women participation was high, and we thank the Egyptian woman for her keenness to participate in this process. Now we are closing all 1,694 secondary polling stations, with the exception of some polling stations where there is a high presence of voters, as we have advised and asked the heads of the concerned polling stations to allow each and every voter to cast his or her ballot. As for the other committees, we will close it down and start the statistical count for the votes before handing them over to the General Committee. We will now portray a report about a detailed report about the complaints that we received from the political parties and other sources. We have received 26 complaints from the hotline, 12 concerning directing voters outside polling stations, and we have dealt with these complaints. Some of them proved to be unauthentic, and we informed the concerned parties to deal with the places, to deal with a situation where there was an overcrowding. 7 complaints regarding not allowing the representatives of the candidates to be inside polling stations, just like yesterday. And we want to again clarify that there is a difference between the representative and the agent of the candidate, and those who have certified documents to represent their candidates are the only ones who are allowed to participate inside polling stations. And so again, this is another clarification about the same issue. So those who have this paper given by the court, by courts, were allowed, and those who don't were not allowed, but everyone will be allowed to participate in the vote counting process. We have 3 complaints regarding briberies, and we have dealt with these complaints and informed the Interior Ministry, who moved immediately to take the necessary legal measures. I would like to thank the Interior Ministry very much for dealing with all complaints on hand, and for taking the legal measures again on hand, as this is some sort of deterrence against such actions. We have 2 complaints of breaking the electoral silence, and we've dealt with these complaints and referred them to the public prosecution. 11 complaints in Sohag, 7 in Fayoum, 6 in Qina, 1 in Asyut, one in Alexandria, with a total of 26 complaints. As for the age categories, we filed the complaints from 18 to 31, 6, from 31 to 40, 11 complaints, from 41 to 50, 7 complaints, and from 60 years and older, 2 complaints. Males filed 25 complaints and females filed 1. As for the parties who complained, 1 from Al-Wai party and 1 from Humat al-Watan party. The Al-Wai's complaint was concerning a claim that one of the candidates organized a gathering of his supporters in front of the polling stations, and we dealt with that. Also, the polling center number 46 in El Fayoum, we had a complaint there, and we dealt with that specific complaint, and we made sure that the representative of the candidate who did have the necessary papers did enter the polling center. Also, there was constituency number 31 in Farshud. There was a complaint from Humat al-Watan that the representative was not allowed to enter, and we were informed that this certain polling station concerned ladies and women, and there had 4 women representatives. Again, we will begin the vote counting, and the representatives of the candidates will be allowed to attend the vote counting process. Of course, all the candidates and their representatives will be allowed to attend the vote counting process. And of course, the candidates and the representatives are also will be enabled to attend in the public committee tasked with collecting the vote counting. Again, this is a statistical vote count, and it's not an official result. This is a statistical vote count. As for the official result, this concerns the jurisdiction of the National Electoral Authority and Councillor Hazem Badawi, who has to ratify it from the General Committee of the NEA. Again, I thank the Interior Ministry very much for its quick, for its efforts and for its quick response and for its deterrence. We will continue to coordinate with all concerned institutions until we close down on this phenomenon. I also want to thank very much the media outlets for their professional work and for their great effort that reflected the electoral process and the awareness of the Egyptian voter. And I call on the media to be there in secondary polling stations and in the main polling stations to attend the vote counting process and to air that process to the people. This is a guarantee, one of the main pillars of guaranteeing a free and fair process. Again, many thanks to all of those who went to the polls to choose their representatives. Your presence and your participation in the voting process was the main guarantee for a free and fair process. The end of this electoral marathon will be in 27 constituencies for 49 seats, over 10 governorates: Al-Giza, Al-Fayoum, Al-Minya, Asyut, Suhaig, Al-Aqsar, Al-Wadi Al-Jadid, Al-Bahira, Alexandria, and God willing, the start of that process for the will be on the 31st of December and 1st of Jan 2026 for the expat vote, and inside Egypt on the 3rd and 4th of Jan 2026. We will be having a press conference at 10 p.m. Cairo local time on the evening of the 30th of December to update you on all of the developments regarding that final round of the electoral marathon. And again, I call on all voters to actively participate in this constitutional duty and right. And again, we will now begin the vote counting process. Thank you again very much. I thank my colleagues very much, the heads of polling stations and the concerned governorates, and we will update you on everything regarding this process as the vote counting moves from the secondary polling stations to the main polling stations, and then we will look into the complaints and then take a decision regarding these complaints. Many thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the head of the Administrative Authority of the National Election Authority press conference by Councillor Ahmed Bendari, who said that they are following, the press conference was following up on the latest concerning the polling station and the voting process. And he said, Councillor Bendari, he said that the polling stations are closing as the press conference kicked off because they close at 9 p.m. Cairo local time, and he noticed that the committee of the National Election Authority noticed that there were a high turnout in rural areas and also in villages in several governorates around Egypt, and also he was pleased that there was a high turnout of women, and he thanked the Egyptian women for their participation and their positive participation. Also, the Councillor Ahmed Bendari said that the committee have received 29 complaints and that the representatives of the candidates were not allowed inside the polling stations. The Councillor Ahmed Bendari also said that media sources, he's thanked the media sources for their professional work and for abiding by the rules of the National Election Authority and in the polling stations, and he asked them to continue their work and that the National Election Authority is really pleased with their work. He said that the counting of the votes will start now, and he also said that there are going to be a press conference next Tuesday, the 30th of December at 10 p.m. and he also added that the counting of the voting will start now. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned for more updates on Nile TV International. I leave you now with my colleague Mohammed Abdelrahim.